It was recently revealed you can beat Cyberpunk 2077 without finishing the game, but what exactly does that mean? Hey guys, Austin here, and today I'm sharing information we got in a recent interview conducted by Polish website Spiderwebs with lead quest designer Powel Sasko regarding how quests will work in Cyberpunk 2077. And it's been confirmed by Sasko himself that players don't have to complete the main quest line to beat the game, which is very interesting. And this is what Sasko had to say about this in the interview. We built a Cyberpunk structure based on conclusions we drew from The Witcher 3. The Witcher had the main stem of history and side threads departing from it, and this is our main structure, which we call the ear. So in Cyberpunk structure, we have this read spike, which serves as its center, and the main storyline with different subplots surrounding it, which can be triggered in various ways. Those subplots allow us to do something that we have never done before. They changed the main plot of the game, and they are doing that in such a way that you may not even finish the main plot, but still finish the game and get a completely different epilogue than the player with a different life path who made different choices, met different characters, and formed relationships with them. Sasko goes on to say that Cyberpunk 2077's story is distinctly defined based on the life path you choose at the beginning of the game. If you choose Nomad, for example, you'll meet Jackie under different circumstances to how you encounter him as a street kid or a corporal. You may have noticed that depending on which history of origin you choose, Jackie's story changes. This is one example of the fact that depending on the chosen path of origin, as a character, you're born in a different place, you have a different story, and therefore both Jackie's story and your relationship with him was different. And that's true. As we saw in Night City Wire, depending on your life path, you guys could start off as friends with the corporate life path, with Jackie already trusting you and you guys know each other for years, or be at odds with one another if you chose Street Kid, where you probably have to build up Jackie's trust in you since you guys don't know one another. And those are things that can shape the story of the game in major ways, and that's just one instance of where your origins impacts how you meet people and the people you meet in game. Sasko goes on to say, on top of this, certain quests are exclusive to specific life paths, meaning that the story can shape out in dramatically different ways depending on which one you choose at the beginning of the game. And man, if this is true, and knowing CD Projekt Red it probably is, we could see the scenario where the player could have different storylines based on their decisions, even if they chose the same life path. For example, let's say you and your friend both chose the corporate life path, but depending on who you sided with, double-crossed, and the people you met, and the decisions you made, your story could be much different than your friends. That is, by the chance you guys both happen to think alike and make the same choices, which is a very cool thing. And it's something that we haven't really seen in a AAA RPG since Fallout New Vegas, a game that's practically known not necessarily for its gunfights like Fallout 4, but the level of choice that the game offered to the player. And Cyberpunk 2077 is looking to do the same thing, just on a much larger scale, where the storylines could go on forever and you have to play through it more than once to get the same experience that your friends and thousands of other players got based off those decisions you made in the game. And as I'm typing the script for the video, it really does give me sort of that Until Dawn vibes, where every decision you make has a butterfly effect on the story. And Sasko even mentions it with how your relationship with Jackie is, where he says this is a bit of a butterfly effect. This is one example where right at the very beginning of the game, your choice defines what your world will look like in the game, which is just amazing, but it's kind of worries me since it really seems like there's going to be a lot going on in the game, to the point where it kind of feels like you could get lost into the story and really have a hard time knowing what's going on and really who people are. And this was said by some of the lucky few who happened to play the game, where they said it was a quality game despite having multiple storylines, but it just felt like there was too much going on and really too much to keep track of. I mean, after all, you can have too much of a good thing. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I really do hope it won't be too overwhelming where you're not really soaking in the story simply because there's too much on your plate and you're just playing through it without really knowing the full context of what's going on. But that's it for today's video. In the comment section below, tell me what you think about all this and what life path do you plan to choose for your first playthrough. And do you think the game could suffer from having too many storylines going on at once? Let me know what you're thinking in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe for more Cyberpunk 2077 content and check out my Twitter page where I post all my thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.